good day, everybody. Joining us today is Gene Hamilton of TASC, a provider of all those documents you and your clients need to stay in compliance with ERISA and other employment tax laws. With the ever-changing tax laws and benefit reporting requirements, you need someone on your side to get through the long list of required filings. This is where TASC comes into play. So, Gene, why don't you tell us a little bit about TASC and what it is that they offer to our members and to their clients?
Okay, thanks, Bill, for having me. TASC has been an administrator for over 40 years, and what we do is we help small businesses utilize compliant tax-saving programs and compliance programs, along with continuation programs, to make sure that they're saving all the taxes they can on the healthcare expenses that they have. So we've specialized in these 105 HRA plans that we've done for years and years. And that's for sole proprietors and one employee corporations. We call that Biz Plan and Agri Plan. And TASC has been doing flex plans since they came into play, and compliance and continuation, as you mentioned, ERISA and HIPAA and COBRA and that sort of thing. We also can take care of that for many size businesses.
All right. So, Gene, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you can keep us protected in a labor audit?
So TASC, as an administrator, we audit guarantee everything we do. So what that means is that we're going to interpret what is put out by the IRS as far as what needs to be done to be compliant, and we set those things up. So let's just talk about the mom and pop 105s. We are going to set up the plan document that the IRS requires. We're going to make sure that those reimbursements are done appropriately, meaning that those expenses are paid out of the personal account, the business account reimburses the personal account. That's what the IRS wants to see, that it's a cycle of reimbursement for those 105 HRAs. And we set up the plan document. We update it every year as a requirement by the IRS. So when the IRS puts out guidance about a subject, we take a look at that guidance and determine what the requirements are that that guidance is telling us to follow. Then we structure and we really execute how those plans, whether it be an HRA or a flex plan or an HSA, how those plans need to be administered to be compliant. Putting that plan document in place, making sure that the rules are followed within the code, and then making sure that those folks are getting year-end reports. So
okay.
We kind of go soup to nuts on making sure that whatever their need be, whether it's an HRA or a flex or an HSA or compliance, ERISA, HIPAA, or continuance, COBRA, we take those subjects very seriously and put those plan types in place for those folks, so we can, when they need a compliance document, we can put a wrap document together to make sure that they're covered by putting out the materials that they need to for the employees.
Okay. Now, when you talk about a flex plan, just because the accountant lingo is 125 plan, they're the same thing. Is that correct?
Yep. So
yeah, okay.
HRAs are under section 105.
We talk in code sections.
And flex plans are under section 120.
Right. Okay. Just making sure. When somebody...
Just to elaborate a little bit on flex plans, Bill, and I'm sorry. Just to elaborate, what's available for those employers to offer their employees is medical FSA, so those expenses that aren't premium expenses, out-of-pocket expenses deductibles, co-pays, dental, vision, that sort of thing.
Right.
They're also able to set up dependent care. That could be elder care or child care, and that's up to $5,000 a year. And then there's, for certain metro areas, the importance of parking and transit comes into play in a flex plan.
Okay. Well, very good. When you said something about a wrap plan, could you explain that a little more? I've never heard that term before.
So when people need compliance documents, ERISA, HIPAA, ACA notices, that sort of thing, we look at what they need, and then we can put that in a wrap document. Because what happens generally is an employee can call the Department of Labor and can, if they've asked their employer for something about their benefits and haven't gotten those, they can make a call to the Labor Department and cause an audit. And when those audits happen, generally what happens is the Department of Labor sends over a request for a lot of very intrusive documents to make sure that employer is up to speed. Because if they're offering group benefits for more than 2 employees, they need to be ERISA and HIPAA compliant. So what TASC does is steps in and says, okay, we can put these, a wrap document, meaning that we'll put a document together that will encompass ERISA, HIPAA, ACA notices, and those sort of things, and put that all together in a wrap document so that we can put that in place and give the employer the ability to disperse those materials that they need to be compliant.
Okay. So you, as well as actually putting the documents together for the company, you're also putting together like the summary plan descriptions and things like that to give to the employees?
Yep. So the SPDs, and a lot of people think because they get a summary of benefits from their insurer that they're covered. They're not.
Right.
So a lot of people need to be compliant, especially with ERISA and HIPAA, and have those ability. What we put together is the ability for them to disperse those needed materials.
Okay. So from the employer's standpoint, once we were to hire a company, hire TASC to take care of those documents and everything for us, then for a whole year, we're covered with all of those filings and everything else, so that we don't have to worry about anything, that we're offering benefits out to our employees for both the health insurance, say life insurance, employee reimbursements, the flex plan, so that we can cover the out-of-pocket costs and things like that. So that would all be taken care of in one big ball, and they put it away for a year, and then we're finished until next year.
Yeah, so we handle some of those things in different manners, and thank you for putting that the way you did, because that will lead me into something that I need to talk to you about, which is our universal benefit account. But
Okay.
just to take a step back, what we do is, whether it's a small employer or a large employer, we take a look at what their needs are, okay? Whether they need, if it's a mom and pop and they need a 105 HRA, we know that. If they need, if they're looking to give their employees some tax-free money and they don't sponsor group health, because now legislation has changed where we can do that through an HRA, we take a look at what their needs are. So if they're offering group benefits and they have a lot of people, we can put a package together, a compliance package, a continuation package, but we can also, let's just say they need, let's just say they're an S Corp and they don't sponsor group health, but they have needs for HSAs, HRAs, and flex benefits throughout their employee stratosphere.
Uh-huh.
TASC has put together something that's quite innovative called the Universal Benefit Account. And what it does is it takes all 3 of those benefit accounts, HRAs, HSAs, and flex benefits, puts them in on one platform. generally those benefit account structures have been separate. They've been in their own silos. They haven't communicated well or worked well together. A lot of times they've been different vendors, so things didn't mesh well. TASC, by creating the universal benefit account, has decided to put HRAs, HSAs, and flex benefits on one platform, meaning one card,
Okay.
meaning one landing page. So I myself, I use a flex plan, but I also have a charitable giving account. So I can go into my TASC account and look at what's gone through my flex and where my flex balance is. And then I can click over on my giving account and see where I made donations to charitable organizations. The
Oh,
same
well, that's
thing
a handy thing.
for people that would be in need of, maybe that those S Corp owners need an HSA. Maybe
Right.
employees need an HRA and some flex benefits. TASC will put that all together through the universal benefit account and make it run smoothly. So really, the universal benefit account is, in my opinion, the landscape of employee benefits in the future.
Okay.
So TASC has been an innovator for their whole existence, and this is going to be a game changer.
Okay.
And so when we think about the universal benefit account, we think about those three different benefit accounts, but then we can also put together, take care of their needs with compliance and or continuation.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we've just about run out of our time here today. I appreciate you coming on and joining us. Why don't you tell our members how they can get in touch with you and TASC, and maybe you can, get some business out of this.
Well, Bill, I certainly appreciate the time. You guys have always been great. I really enjoyed working with Msatp over the 10 years. Dana Brunn had set a great foundation working with your organization, and I've been happy to work with Dana, and now he's in a different role. We're friendly and we still communicate, but if they need mom and pop or universal benefit account help or compliance and continuation, they can always reach me at my email address, which is Gene, Gene, .hamilton@taskonline.com, or they can call me on my cell phone. My cell phone is 401-327-0166.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Gene. It was a pleasure talking to you today. And you take care and have a good week.